A junk cast. It's a term used for one of the first rough casts from a silicone mold. It's sometimes called a test cast because it shows the problems with the mold that cause air bubbles, or even a clean-out cast because it picks up all the little bits of clay and silicone left over from the mold making process. I decided to use this test cast to practice all of the additional steps that come with assembling a doll. Because I wanted a doll to play around with and I didn't want to waste extra resin before my pressure pot arrived, I decided to use this test cast to practice all the additional steps that come with assembling a doll. Using some model clippers, I cut off the sprues. I used my craft knife to trim off some of the flashing and rough mold lines. They were pretty bad. I had palpitated several of these molds to make sure they filled completely, and the first pore holes were not wide enough for air bubbles to not get caught. I also sanded some of the less pronounced seam lines, but since these were just test pieces, I didn't get too detailed with my sanding. I then mixed some white milliput to fill the massive air holes in my pieces. I'm still not sure what I think of this stuff. It's so difficult to tell if it's mixed properly with both parts being the same color. I just decided to spend 10 minutes kneading it. The box only says 5, but I wanted to be sure. It would be under a lot of pressure in the joints. After I'd filled all of the holes, I then abandoned the project on the craft room table for several days before coming back to it. Because I'd used water to smooth the shapes, I didn't actually have much sanding to do to make sure the patch joints moved smoothly. When I drilled out the stringing channels, I didn't have any problems except for the left forearm. I drilled a little too close to the front, and the elbow doesn't work properly. Will that teach me to not use my electric drill on high speed for the tiny pieces? No, probably not. I could probably fix it with some UV resin or milliput, but that would take more effort than I'm willing to expend on a test doll. I couldn't find my wire because I put it away, so I used paper clips to wire the wrists and the ankles and make my S-hooks. I then measured out 2 pieces of elastic cord, one double the length of the body from ankle to neck, and one the span of the arms. I threaded the cord for the arms through the bust when I decided to also thread the body cord behind it so it would be easier to work with later. Which was probably a good choice because I had made the arm elastic too small and it was difficult to string the arms. That part was so frustrating that I completely failed to film any bit of my stringing the legs. I had to wedge the doll between my knees to get her strung. But I did get her fully strung in the end. Next up were the magnets. I bought these magnets way back this time last year when I thought I would be done in a month or 2. Gluing them in taught me several things. This particular super glue is terrible. Also, it's more difficult than it looks to get the magnets in the right way up. And thirdly, I really need to pay attention to my camera if I want to do this whole YouTube thing. because I have practically no footage of putting in these magnets at all. But I did achieve my goal, a fully magnetized faceplate, hands, and feet. But I am really happy with her. And she can even stand by herself. Sure, she's not graceful about it, but I'm so proud that she does it.